Hello, what's up? Let me check my audio real quick here, make sure everything's working.
Let me
Does it
check my
sound
audio
okay?
real quick here, make sure everything's working.
Oh, that sounds pretty
Check my
good.
audio real quick here.
So we're checking out the new Insta360 Link 2 and Link 2C. Hey, what's up, Gershine? So this is the Link 2 that you are looking at and listening to right now. So we are using the built-in microphone on here. Luckily, it's not going to be, it's not going to necessarily contend with a condenser microphone or dynamic mic, something that's made for streaming, but I want to give you a good idea of what it sounds like. So that is what we are using here, at least for now. We might change to something else a little bit further down, but we're checking it out. And I also have, hey Brittany, how's it going? Right, for a video conference cam mic, like pretty legit. I mean, it's relatively quiet in here. In my office, it's kind of echoey in this area where I am right now. I'm surrounded by three walls without any sound treatment, so it's pretty echoey. But let's see, you should be able to see that. Yeah, there are some other audio modes. We have it on voice focus right now, which I could even turn down the music a little bit. Yeah. So, and then there's this is eliminate ambient noise, which, yeah, like I said, there's not a whole lot. I have a fan running, but it's not a very loud noise at all. Can't hear the music? Okay, you want me to turn that back up a little bit? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, if you want to hear it or not. And then filter out other voices with voice suppression, and then music balance. Balance your voice with music, which is interesting. So I don't know if you have music playing in the background. Like, I think if you are an artist who is performing and playing some music and you want to use this, that might be something where that would be beneficial. Like, I know in some other scenarios, I've had issues with webcams cutting out music that people were hoping to be able to listen to. So some different settings in there. Yeah, and then we also have, if I turn this on, so this is let's see here, how do we do this? If I put myself over there, and then we can make this bigger. So this is the Link2C over here on this side. Hey, what's up, Justin? So we have the Link2, which is this one. I'll put my finger in front of it so you can tell which one it is. And then the Link2C, which they are camera-wise, they're pretty much identical. Let me see here. But the Link2 has the gimbal, 3-axis gimbal that we're used to. For 2-axis? 2-axis. And then the 2C doesn't have that. But visual-wise, it seems to be the same. So the benefit of that is, of course, it's a little bit more affordable, which is kind of crazy. The original Link that I've been using since it came out and just absolutely blown away by this thing was, what, $250? They can get it for about $225 right now. The 2C with the gimbal is $200. Or I'm sorry, the Link 2 with the gimbal is $200, and the 2C that just sits on top is $150, which just blows me away. Like, usually, like, we're used to seeing if a company comes out with, next generation and adds more features and makes it better, like, at least staying at the same price, if not going up in price. The fact that they reduce the price is pretty insane. Yeah, I'm just blown away by it. So a couple other things. This is a 4K capable webcam. I have it in 1080 mode right now. Here, I'm going to turn off the 2C for a little bit. I have it in 1080 mode right now because they have effects like, background blur, background bokeh, all that stuff that only work in 1080 mode. They don't work in 4K, so that's why we have it in that. But I think we can, let me pop it over to the 4K 30. And I think my stream is still, like, the settings on my stream are 1080, but hopefully the quality is noticeable and maybe went up a little bit. Like when I was testing it, you kind of see my hairs here with the light in the background, like pretty good quality in with that. Or since you head to head against the Elgato face cam, yeah, I don't think I have the latest from Elgato, unfortunately, to put it, head to head with that. So yeah, just really blown away by what these can do. One other thing to note, they are larger. Not that it's like they're still large or still smaller, I would say, than any of like the Razer web cameras, but compared to the original Link, they're a little bit bigger. So here is a picture of all three of them lined up. This is the original Link over here. And then we have the Link 2C. I have the little shutter guard on it here. And then we have the Link 2 with the gimbal over here. So you can see they are quite a bit bigger. One other thing to note here is that the cameras are removable from these stands. They're magnetic, so I don't know if you would like attach them to something else if that's a benefit there. But I do believe that is different than the original Link. Like you can't take this clip off the bottom. It still has the threads on here for mounting on a tripod, but just a little different there. Right? Yeah, it's not bad. And we'll show off some of the focus here a little bit too, like holding something up close, very quick to get its focus, very quick to, return. Like that's pretty crazy. Hey, what's up, Goose? Yeah, I'm going to unplug the 2C because I think they have basically the same clip. So we can show that off real quick. Here's the 2C and here's the little monitor clip for it. Just gonna set that off to the side. So, I mean, pretty standard, fairly robust. Like this is pretty thick. It has some kind of anti-slip material on it. Has a thread on the back. Insta360, when they sent this out, they sent it with a tripod to show off some other ways you could use it. They suggest like if you are an instructor doing live classes for like yoga or fitness or something, you could put this on a tripod and use it for that. Because of course, with the gimbal, it has all of the tracking capabilities, which we'll show off here in a little bit as well. Minimum focus distance, it feels like about 3 inches. I can almost fill the frame. You can see the whole thing. I'd say about 3 inches. I mean, this is I'll get the actual Hot Wheels car out of here. See, it's not Hot Wheels, but Hot Wheels size. So you can kind of get a feel for how close you can get and get it in focus. So maybe like 4 inches, but you can show off some pretty good detail on something like that. Again, that's better than my A7S III with the normal 24-70 lens on there. It's pretty nuts. And I remember using some of the older Razer webcams, and it had a hard time with focus and really nailing it right away. But this is just instant right there. It's crazy. Another reason why I'm so impressed with it. Goose says, I had no idea this was coming out, otherwise I would not have bought the Elgato face cam Mark II. Oh no. Yeah. This is the built-in microphone, yeah. We were kind of showing it earlier. It has a couple different modes. Right now we are in voice focus. And you could also do voice suppression or music balance. Yep, just USB. Oh, was I done showing off the clip? So the way this fits on here, once again, this is the 2C, and the base seems to be exactly the same on the Link 2. It's just, there's a gimbal on here instead of just the flat bottom, but it's just kind of magnetic. Just snaps on there. There's another hinge. So basically you can set your, set the clip on your monitor, and then there's another, I gotta get that the right way. There's another hinge up top here. You can set your angle. And then even with the magnet, you can rotate it like on the 2C to get it facing the right way. And then of course the 2C, like the Link 2 will point down for a privacy mode. So it just like turns off the camera, points down so you can't see anything. And the 2C has a shutter cover right there. And of course, if you're interested in any of this stuff, Goose, I don't know how long ago you bought the Elgato, but there are links in the description, of course, if you're interested in picking one up. Oh, interesting. That's interesting, Kiro. I mean, they say, AI powered, whatever that means. But maybe it is doing some AI processing and learning to do that. I believe that AI, like even looking at the box here, like they refer to AI with AI tracking rather than audio stuff. But let's go back to oh dang, sorry, Goose. Let's go back to 1080 and we can show off some of the effects, which is, I mean, one of the huge benefits of this new generation. So, like the original Link, of course, great video quality, it can follow you around. Hear it cutting out a train whistles in the background. Yep. We live maybe like half mile from some train tracks, maybe 3/4 mile. And I've got my windows open. It's finally a cooler day today. So yeah, you can kind of hear that. That's awesome. So yeah, one of the things with the Link, the original, was that, great video quality, could follow you around, but it didn't have any of the like NVIDIA broadcast, any sort of filters or any sort of additional effects you could put on the image. But the Link 2 has some of that built in. And like we said, it doesn't work in the 4K mode, but it will work in 1080 mode, which, I mean, we're streaming in 1080 right now. So, and typically, if I was using this on a live stream, I probably obviously wouldn't have it blown up this big normally. So for me personally, how I would use it. So here are some of the things you can do for background. So of course, blur, this kind of looks like your classic Microsoft Teams or whatever. And it's not as good as what NVIDIA can do with NVIDIA Broadcast. Definitely notice it's having a tough time with some of these edges of my chair here and figuring out exactly what to blur and what not. Even kind of around like, my hair here and having some issues with that. I guess that is with 100%. If we turn it down some, it's still pretty noticeable, I would say. So not quite NVIDIA broadcast quality, I would guess. This is 43%. Here's 20. Just move around a little bit. When you're, I don't know. Once again, I have it blown up really big right now. And I don't know that in a normal use case, I would have it quite like this. So yeah, here it is with it turned off. Here's with the blur on 20. Only 30 FPS. Can you go higher than 30? That's a great question, Goose. Let's look at the Amazon listing. It kind of looks like I only see... Only options I see down here in the corner are 4K 30, 1080 30, and 720 30. Let's see here. Do I have an Amazon listing for that? Hey, Simon, what's up, man? Okay. So 360 Link 2. See if we can pull this up here. Standard bundles. Just cover myself up for a second. So yeah, $200 for the standard bundle. You can get a tripod with it if you need it. And then 150. 150 for the standard, which is just crazy. Check out some specs. Oh, okay. 1080p 60. Guess I don't know what I have to do to enable that. 4K 30, 1080 60 is what it's saying here. Yeah, Link. Yeah, exactly, Goose. They're adding all this stuff and made it cheaper. It's like that's not something companies do in 2024. It's wild. I think was it 300? It was at least 250. I think you can still get the original Link for like 225 or something like that. But yeah, now the Link 2 is 200 and the 2C is 150. $400. Wow. See, that's kind of why I'm just blown away by this. Okay. But yeah, what do I have to do to enable 60? Yeah, I don't know what we have to do to get to 60 FPS. But it says it can do it. Maybe I'll play around with that a little bit and make a little like short video about it if I figure out how to do that. Enable portrait. Oh, here we go. Enabling portrait resolution and high frame rate will restart the device. Looks like the portrait resolution. Oh, well, that just flip it over into portrait mode rather than horizontal. It said it should work in horizontal as well, so I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. So we showed off the blur mode, but then it also has a bokeh mode, which similar? It's just less intense. It's a little bit, you can still kind of see it. Like I'm watching the transitions here with the chair. I mean, you can still kind of see it fuzz over and kick into that. So a little bit of a hard time tracking it. Maybe it's just not quite as intense as blur. I guess this is 20% blur, and this is 48% bokeh. Does make me look a little red. Yeah. I mean, I've got some blue lights coming off my computer here. I've got the Razer Keylight Chroma. I mean, it should be on a white over here, but maybe it's struggling to keep up with all the different color temperatures. So you can kind of see some blue on this side of my face. I wonder if it's trying to like compensate for that. Or maybe I'm just really embarrassed. Who knows? But of course, I mean, you can also dial all that stuff in up here. Auto exposure, which I do think it does a pretty decent job with auto exposure. You know, if we get something like cover it up, so it goes to crazy exposure. It takes it a little bit to get back to normal, but not super long. What if we change the temperature? Well, you go to 10,000. 10,000 and 2,000 Kelvin. Oh, wow. HDR, what does that do? I think that almost made it worse. Let's put temperature back on auto. I don't know. Hard for me to say. Okay. So we can switch over. Let's see here. If we switch over to the 2C, I think we should be able to play around with all those same things. I have to maybe deactivate it here. Okay. So now we're using the 2C. So we can see what that looks like. And so the only thing, the 2C, obviously it's $50 cheaper, doesn't have the gimbal, but you'll notice that like the gimbal, besides just tracking, has another great feature, which is taking out tiny shakes on your desk and in your monitor. So if I shake my desk here, you can see how much that's shaking the camera. I don't know. Yeah, should be able to tell. And if I flip over, I'm going to go back to the Link 2. So this is now back to the gimbal one, the Link 2. Won't follow me? No. But if I shake the desk, do the same thing, it takes out all that movement. So that is another benefit. If you're a very animated streamer, that can help make your image look a little bit better. Okay, so now we're back on the 2C, and you can see, I mean, we have basically all the same options here. So we can do the blur, we can do the bokeh. You can make, whatever changes you want. So down here, we're playing with our different filters. I keep blinking at the wrong times when doing those. Ooh, this is like a cinematic vintage one. Boost some like oranges and blues in the shadows. Vintage 2. Neon. Well, the spray tan mode. And clear. So I don't know, okay, that's clear, then this is off. So I don't know what that really did, but some of the different portraits down here. And so with this one, we're using the 2C, so it won't have, you won't be able to do the like auto framing. Actually, what is it? Oh. I guess it just doesn't move, it just kind of zooms in and tracks you around as far as it can. Wait, how do I zoom back out? Here we go. And then whiteboard, what is it? Smart whiteboard desk view? Can it do anything with that? I wonder if you probably have to actually point it down for desk view. That looks so funny. Oh, go away. We'll try desk view mode on the one with the gimbal. Should we flip back on HDR? Goosey said HDR looks kind of good. Just feel like it's like bringing up the shadows a little bit and kind of just making everything kind of bright overall. Maybe I bring down the brightness a little bit. crazy contrasty. Super saturation. This is 50% sharpness. What if we take that all the way down? Definitely softer. Yeah, the gimbal, when you do that, it like points at your desk. All right, this is 100% sharpness. You can definitely see everything looks pretty crunchy. Okay, so we'll go back to 50, that default. Okay, so I just wanted to show that we can do basically all the same things with the 2C, just without the gimbal capabilities. So let's go back to the 2. So now we are back on the gimbal. So of course this one, you know, you hit AI tracking and move around and it will follow you everywhere. Trying to keep up. Which does a very good job. And one thing I noticed with this, I don't even know if you could do this with the original Link, because I would kind of get annoyed, because usually I don't use the auto tracking, but you can turn, and I would accidentally enable the gesture control just by having my hands up or something like that. You can turn it off in here and disable that gesture if you don't want it to do that, which is nice. Yeah, I was trying to confuse it a couple of times. Let's see how quick we can go. Then it catches you again once you get back in the frame. Anywho. Okay, so then so I don't have a whole lot of light on my desk. Let me turn on the light real quick. Maybe? There we go. So we can show off the, oh wow, that's very bright. All right, so we can show off the desk view. The gimbal just automatically points down. I don't know if you can set the, you can set like I want it to be just a little bit more, but it's almost like it won't let me do that. It's like a, I don't know, 45-degree angle. Like I'd rather show a little bit more up here, but I guess it would get close to the actually like hitting the bottom of the gimbal. Maybe that's not why it's doing it. But it kind of does some funky things with stretching the image to try to flatten things out on here and make them not look all warped. That's kind of like what that does. Yeah. I mean, I think it's more for paper. No, it's super blown out. Does that save it? Huh. You know, something that doesn't have a lot of height to it. It's more box looks 4D. It's coming at you. It's more for yeah, like making paper look normal, I think. Little sausage fingers. The gimbal points back at your face. Oh, the brightness turned all the way down to 0. What's it doing with that? Okay, there we go. Sweet. Hey, is it just because I have that light on? Is that why it's so bright? Now, does my face look overexposed to you? For some reason, it looks overexposed to me when I'm looking at it, but maybe it's just because. Like this looks more contrasty. Obviously, there's maybe like a little hot spot up here. There's just a little more contrast to it, which I guess that's what HDR is, right? Look at my monitor. I mean, everybody's saying it looks red, so it's probably red. Which I wonder, okay, so how could we... My theory is that it's compensating for other blue tones. So how would I... Let's see here. If we turn off some of the lighting... See if I can turn off all my lights from my PC. Yeah, looking at the main monitor here, my second monitor, and then I also have it up on my Razer Blade 14. It definitely looks oversaturated and more red on the Blade 14 than it does on these two monitors, to me at least. Does that look better after turning those things off? I also have a blue shirt, so I don't know if it's picking up some of that stuff. Let me see, do I have a sweatshirt in here? I don't think so. It's gold! Purple? Oh, that's blue. It's navy blue. Tends to... Oh, interesting. Auto white balance tends to react. Freak out a bit with complex lighting coming off monitors. That's true. I mean, we have a lot of different light sources right now. We've got two monitors. We've got the Razer. I mean, I've got my windows open. If you can see that. So there's, and it's a cloudy day. Key light temperature. This is set to, does it tell you? I guess it says 5,000 here in Synapse, so we could try dialing that in. 5,000? Can we not do? I don't know if that made any difference. So let me turn this guy off, because it's probably throwing some weird bounce on it too. Yeah, I feel like that looks even more red. Oh, let me put the brightness back up. No. Or we could do... Okay, so these are all defaults, I believe. Beep. Let's see here. Were there any of these that helped with any of that? Sorry, I'm like different filters to see if they look any different. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I like the default best myself. Okay, so what if we just drop the saturation a little bit? 45. That's like 47. With a little more saturation. Getting into the weeds a little bit, but I don't know. There's a process in the camera or software we see getting redder and redder after you switch a setting. Oh, interesting. Huh. Wonder what that is. Bokeh? Turn the bokeh off. That was weird. It's definitely a navy blue. Maybe I think that might be a thing with the camera making a little more red. I don't know how to prove it to you. My face is not normally this red, and my shirt is blue. I'm trying to think what else would be, what else can we play with that would... I don't know. That's interesting. Well, cool. Any other questions about this camera? Like I said, I'm super impressed. If they added more features and slashed the price down. That's just incredible. Really blown away by what they did with this one, with this release. So, of course, there are links to everything down in the description if you want to check them out. And we've been using the microphone this whole time. Obviously, it's hard for me to kind of... Did you see what? What do you see in the background? Oh, you're talking about the white mouse? Oh, that's an oldie. It's the Death Adder V3. Interesting. I will go back and check that out. That's cool. My mouse is white. There's a slight pink. Oh, interesting. So maybe there is just something. Everything is getting a little bit of a red tint. Even my blue shirt. And this is, actually, oh no. Oh no. Do I have an effect on my camera? Oh no. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Well, it's running through, no, that's the audio. Wait. My display capture, do I have, because this is I'm just capturing my display. Oh no. Wait. Oh wait, no, I had it turned off. That's what this is. Right now, the filter's enabled, and right now it's turned off. I don't think I had that on. So I am going through Streamlabs, but I don't think I have any effects. Right. Like technically there's a filter in here, but I don't think it was enabled. So that wasn't messing with it. So I'm gonna hold up the mouse again. I want to get a peek at that on my huh. Yeah. Definitely looks like there's some weird red on there. Huh. It's interesting. I don't think there's like a I'm not like missing like a weird like skin tone mode or anything like that, right? Like I'm pretty sure we got through all the settings in here. Might even there are what are these color presets? I feel like that made it worse. Ah. Oh, that just reset things. I created a new preset and it reset everything. Hmm. It's interesting though, because I can see what you're talking about when I look at the YouTube stream on my Blade. Actually, let me see if it looks different on my PC. No, I think that looks about the same. Hmm. That's weird. Red filter on its lens. Pretty sure there's not anything on there. No, I think we're good. It's so weird. Hmm. Check in one time because yeah, this is the display capture. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's set to auto the temperature at least, but I don't know about other like, other color stuff. Yeah, my only other thought is that maybe it's making up for the rest of the frame. I'm trying to think if I would have a way of totally blocking the back, the rest of my office. And seeing if that would fix it or change it. I don't know if I do right now. The skin tone is shifting. Is it as I like move around it's doing all that stuff? Oh yeah, like on this side it's super red, right? Is it the same over here? But then when I put my face right back in the middle, what does it do? I also I also reset the saturation, so maybe that was like the huge change right there. So bring the saturation back down just a little bit. Or no, let's leave it at the defaults and try to figure it out. Okay, this is just default. I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to touch that. I moved and it shifted. Oh, interesting. Is the bokeh configurable? Yes. You can basically dial up the percentage of it. So I'll flip over to that. This is at 48%. You can see right down here. Hold something up. Helps to blur the background. So we'll switch back and forth. This is with it off. Still has a little bit of, soft in the background. This is with it on. This is at 100. So here it is back down a little bit. Gives me a spray tan. Absolutely. I'm going to turn on one of these other filters down here. And oh my gosh. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Jersey Shore. No, thanks. I'm good in Indiana. Okay, I have an idea. I have a white IKEA desktop. I'm going to try it again and see how much of this I can block. Just give me like a couple minutes to get things set up. I'm going to walk around and grab that stuff, got to move a couple things, but let's try it. See if it makes a difference. Be right back. Yeah, I'm moving my things. How much of that can we? Like, I'm curious if we can kind of, reset the scene with color temperature, if that will affect what it does. And it still kind of looks red in the stream, I think. It's so weird. It looks so different than what's in my previews. It looks so different that I wonder. I mean, it also makes me think if there's something weird with like YouTube compression. Yeah, Goose. I was kind of wondering if it's the same thing. It's interesting because I would think that it would default to like, try to make this as white as possible. But it's still got a reddish tone to it. It's interesting. I don't know. That's weird. Maybe I'll do some tinkering around and try to see if I can figure out what's happening there. And so this is a 1080 stream. I don't know if I change it to like a 4K stream, if that would change anything. I don't know. I feel like the compression is less noticeable with 4K. But our mode back on just for kicks. Does that still look reddish? Yeah, kind of. Very interesting. Okay, let me see if I can. Let's see if we can. Oh, wait. All right, so here's Streamlabs. Can we put a filter on it that would edit filters? So you can see this color correction one is not enabled. If I enable it, kind of brightens everything up a little bit. So let's add a filter and call it Link2 fix. Can we? I guess we have a hue shift. Whoa. Okay, those are pretty drastic. Gotta go pretty light on that one. -3. No. My shirt definitely does not look normal. It's supposed to be purple. Yeah, I don't think that really. Because you can do saturation, brightness, but there's not any other like things to do there. Even more purple? Man, what is going on? Or is that just because of the filter we had on right now, dudes? What's it look like now? Good question. Instead of we are using Kira, we are using the what's the virtual? Oh, what do they call it? Their virtual camera thing. Okay, so if let's try the 2C. Let's turn that back on. I want to see if that color looks any different. Okay. All right, so the 2C is this one over here. And that is not going through the virtual webcam. Does that look any different? Yeah, the way I think to use the effects through the Link software, you have to enable their virtual, what do they call it? Virtual camera or something like that. Let me see if I can. Yeah, here we go. See if I can show you this. So they've got, is that showing up on there? Yeah. So Link2C is what I've activated in that frame right now. But if you want to use it with the effects, you have to have the Insta360 virtual camera here. But this stuff should be directly from the software, so I don't know. Let me get our whiteboard back out and we'll compare. Yeah, it still look pretty similar to me. I don't know. But it looks so different in my preview. Like in the Streamlabs desktop preview on my main PC here, it looks so different. So weird. So different. I'm not sure. Okay. Don't have to show us Task Manager about how heavy is it sensitive some resources. Let's see. Yeah. The virtual camera service is taking up a good chunk, actually, of my CPU. You see here. Anywhere from like 15 to 20%. Virtual camera service. I assume that's the to record and watch it later. Yeah, I'll do some testing here and see if we can figure out exactly what's happening. Worried about not unexpected. Does it work with NVIDIA? Let's pop it up real quick here. Let's see here, because we're using the 2, so I should be able to put the 2C through here. And what? Okay, so here we have what? Why isn't that? Let's see, it's showing up in broadcast, in NVIDIA broadcast, but it's not showing up in OBS or Streamlabs for some reason. Yeah, broadcast is just so good. It says restart the camera and application currently using. That's what I tried to do. But why is it not showing up? Configure. with the camera held in this. Oh. Yeah, here's my Streamlabs. So I can't use the 2C because it's busy, but I'm trying to get the broadcast feed to show up. Let me see here. I could try. No, that's not it. There we go. Always some beeping and booping. So yeah, there's the 2C with NVIDIA Broadcast. Whoops. This guy. Not funny. There's nothing you can really do on this one, right? It looks like the same color from what I can tell. Looking at the stream on YouTube, still looks kind of red. I agree. Hey, what's up, Chris? I guess you're right. The purple, yeah, the shirt does look a little different, but skin tone still looks kind of the same, I think. There's just like a little bit of delay between the two. So watch myself blink. Anywho, okay. Maybe there's anything else we can mess around with on here. How you doing, Chris? Good to see you, man. Maybe. But I don't think it's purple. Fooled you all. I can't see colors. Gonna play around with the colors on here a little bit. It feels like cooling it off any more just makes... Damn, it just doesn't look great. Does it look better? No. But that makes it look a little more blue. Turn that back on auto. That just doesn't look natural. Awesome, man. Thanks for popping in. Checking out the Link and the Link 2. Absolutely crazy. Or, I'm sorry, the Link 2 and the Link 2C. They just added new features and made them more affordable, which is wild. Okay, I'm going to turn... We are trying to figure out there's a little reddish tint, so we've been kind of playing around with things, trying to figure out why it seems to be doing that. You can't figure it out. So I'll play around with that some more. Has everybody calibrated their monitors recently? I will say on my more calibrated monitors, they doesn't look overly red. It does look red on the Razer though. I agree. But I also can't, like, they're not professionally calibrated. They're amateurly calibrated by me. Does the microphone still sound okay? Like, even when I talk quietly, does it still sound okay? Is it picking up everything? kind of thought I would switch over to the Alias Pro at some point, but I figured it makes more sense, I guess, to just keep using the built-in. Not picking up higher tones. Interesting. I guess we could try the other modes. See how those sound. I mean, there's not a whole lot else going on in my office, so don't know if it'll block out much stuff, but you can at least hear what they sound like a little bit again. So this is with voice suppression enabled. I guess you'll have to tell me if it sounds different. I can't really tell, but this is the voice suppression mode, which filter out other voices. So if it's just focusing in on one voice, Kuro was mentioning that it sounded better throughout the stream, almost as if it was like learning my voice a little bit more or focusing on that a little bit more. So maybe it's able to do that with that. Guess I need to actually have like friends to talk to me in real life to test it out. My wife in here. And then there's also the music balance. We'll flip over to that one as well. I would expect this to be a little bit more of like a unfiltered natural. Like if it's trying to pick up both voice and music, I guess I would expect this to be a little bit more unfiltered. Let me see here. See if I can hear how that sounds. Test, test. How's that sounding? Test, test. How's that sounding? Test, test. Turn that back off. Sound 5 feet away now. Interesting. Well, that's music balance. We'll go back to voice focus, which probably I would imagine is the setting we use most frequently. Settings. Oh, there is an update? Maybe we should try updating it. Let's try updating it, see what happens. How about now? Can you hear me now? Looks like it. My audio source was the 2, so when I started updating it cut that sound off. So I flipped over to the 2C. And this is, let's see here, this is not running through the virtual camera. So how does this sound? Does it still sound like it has the same filter on? Does it still sound like it has the same filter on? Or does it sound a little more natural? Or like unfiltered, I guess I should say. Sound more reverby? Yeah, so maybe it doesn't have the effects on it. Interesting. I don't think I can. Yeah, I can't do anything while it's doing this update. Yeah, you can see anytime I move my desk at all, it shakes the camera. Camera's dancing. Okay. So here's the latest. Go back to normal settings. HD off. Oh wait, this is the 2C. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. This is the feed from the 2. Right? Yeah, this is the feed from the 2. So let me reset everything again. See, this is default. Looks pretty red to me. Like, I'd probably turn that saturation down a little bit if I was using that. But okay. Well, that is the Link 2 and the Link 2C. We'll probably start wrapping things up here. So let me know if you have any last minute questions. And oh, I'm going to change the audio back to the where is it? Now I don't see the Link 2 as an audio input in Streamlabs, so I guess we'll keep using the 2C. I think that might just be because I updated the firmware while we were live. Let's go back to the 2C. I want to check the... Oh, it's still in NVIDIA broadcast, so I probably have to change that to something to get it to turn on in here. Yeah. Okay, voice focus is what it's on. All right. Well, cool. Well, yeah, we're going to wrap up here. I'll see if I can make a quick little update, figuring out how to get it in 60 FPS. And then also see if I can figure out the red tint. But sweet. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out. It was fun. Good to see all ya. Good to chat with all y'all. Like I said, I'm super impressed with these cameras. If you're interested in picking one up, obviously check the links in the description. But yeah, just $200 for the 2 and $150 for the 2C. That's pretty crazy. I can also see, as I'm just moving around here, I'm using the 2C, and I can just see the image shaking a little bit, which I'm not used to with the gimbal from the Link. So something to keep in mind with those. But alrighty. Well, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Stay tuned for more streams. Obviously, joining our Discord channel is a good way to kind of get a little bit of a heads up on that. Although sometimes it's not much of a heads up, but you can at least chat and ask questions in there if you want. There's a link for that in the description as well. So, thanks for hanging out, y'all. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you later. Okay, bye.